I'm going to have one of those moments. I have just closed my 15-year standing eBay account. Perfect reputation, perfect everything, never a problem. Sold 300 odd items. I'm an amateur user. Bought thousands of items. And I'm never using the platform again. Ever. Never buying from it, never selling on it. They will never know the reasons because their website, when it asks for the reasons, don't give you any input. They just ask you a set of, I think there's about 12 different options of what it is. The nearest one to mine was only vaguely related. And then they didn't really care. And then annoyingly, the website denied me closing my account because I had subscriptions. So I follow the instructions and I go through to subscriptions and I have a look and there are no subscriptions. So I go back and I go to close the account. It says, no, you've got subscriptions. And this is just endemic of the problems with eBay at the moment. It is chaotic and it is ridiculous. And I have a friend of mine that works in using their API and it changes willy-nilly and no one really tests it. It's a pain. It's an absolute pain. Got that sorted, got it closed. That's just one of the symptoms that annoy me. The other recent change was when they directly reach into your bank account and do whatever they want and put funds on hold and then give you funds randomly and stuff. It is so strange because it's always in favour of the buyer. And this brings me to the last reason. Okay. I have a buyer right now who's bought something that I don't own. It belonged to my father-in-law. It's a digital train set. So digital controlled, DCC. It's quite a complex thing. Works perfectly. It's an absolutely mint condition. Mint. My father-in-law looks after everything mint. So it all went back in its original box. Went off to this guy. He's got in his name on eBay 1947. So he's the same age as my father-in-law. And I already knew when the bid came in. I thought, oh please no. Because these folks who are coming back to trains later on or have a DC set, just a plain DC set, not a digital set, do not get these digital ones. They don't get it. They don't get that you pair things up, you change mode, you alter things. So he keeps sending me pictures of the unit. Yeah, keeps saying it doesn't work, it's faulty, it doesn't work. Keeps saying this to me over and over again. And then sends me pictures of the unit working perfectly validly. It's just not in the mode he thinks it is. So the best one was that he sent me a screenshot of it saying it doesn't work. The right hand side doesn't load up, can't get into menu. That's all he said. I'm not tech support, but that's what he said. So I had a look. First of all, it's in German. How did it get into German? Unless you were pressing buttons, how did it get into German? I'm not German. My father-in-law's not German. The unit wasn't in German. The only way to get it into German is to actively press the little spanner, go to language and pick Deutsche. So you must have done that at some point. And he says, no, I never did that. How else did it get into German mode? How else, unless you did that? So he's then saying he can't get a loco on the right-hand side working. And I've pointed out that you press this button and it moves the loco over to the right-hand side. If you program one in, it moves it to either be controlled by the left joystick throttle or the right joystick throttle. And he says the right joystick throttle doesn't work. And there are 3 reasons why the right joystick throttle won't work. First reason is you do not have more than one loco. You have to have 2, therefore have one on either side, for there to be one on the right hand side. And by default, they'll all be on the left. So that's the first reason. The second reason is, by default, they're all on the left, and you've not moved one to the right. If you've not said you be on the right, it doesn't know, so it stays grey. Okay, this is all making perfect sense to me. And I sent him a screenshot of the manual. So I took a screenshot of the manual that I downloaded and said, that button, press that button and that will move over there. And then this one works fine now, no problem. Cool. Got you in the menu, got it back into English. You pick one on the right hand side. Cool. All works fine, he says. Then last night, same message again. Doesn't work. It's faulty. Want a refund. So what now I'm thinking, is this more nefarious than I think? Is this guy trying to get a refund because he got a really nice item, cheap as well. He got £200 off it from retail, £200 off it, mint condition. Is he trying to like get the money back as well? You know, it's all for the buyer. eBay is all about protecting the buyer. They give you the eBay guarantee and all this stuff, and it's just so ridiculous. And they're not. It's just ridiculous. I'm just sick of it. And I have explained to 2 different people saying he's raised a return. First of all, it was a listing without returns. How did he raise a return? So the woman says, oh, he can raise returns if it's defective. It's not defective. He's sending me pictures of it working perfectly validly. So he's sending me pictures saying, doesn't work. Pictures of a working unit. Oh, I can't comment on that. I don't know what's working and what's not. So he can raise a return and she can't say, no, the seller's correct. It's working, because she doesn't know about that thing. So surely that works for every possible thing that eBay sells, unless that particular customer service rep has like expert knowledge of the unit, thing, item that's being sold. That's everything from a caravan, you know, to a candlestick. It beggars belief. So that was the first call to customer service. The second call, he'd raised this dispute. Okay, and I said, I have replied. It's telling me I need to reply by tomorrow, which was a few days ago. I've replied saying, it's fine. You've sent me pictures of it working. Here's the manual. This is the page on the manual with the exact diagram of the picture you've sent me. Press that button and it will light up. And he replied, working, but left the dispute there. So I was in limbo. I could not do anything, right? And this is where eBay really let me as the seller down. Okay? They could raise this return. They could say all these things. There was no recourse for the seller. They said, oh, have him package it all up and send it back to you. My father-in-law packaged it up immaculately and he sent it. Okay? Now, he didn't watermark it. He didn't put smart water on it. He didn't put his name on it. There's no way of knowing that's the unit come back. He doesn't even know the serial number of the unit he sent. And that means very little anyway. So does that mean the unit coming back might not be the one that got sent? Has this guy got one that's bust and he's trying to pull a fast one? And that's my major worry, because it was listed as no returns for that reason. Not because it's a defective unit. It's spanking brand new. So I get to the point where I'm sick of this. This guy then retracts this reward, says, oh, it's fine. It all works. I've retracted my case. Good for you, pal. Glad you've read the manual. RTFM. Go for it. He messaged me again last night saying, this is all not working again. You've just said it wasn't working. It was working, right? So the third thing that can stop this particular mode he's describing going off is when you come to pair a loco up digitally with the unit, you put it into programming mode, you press the little spanner and the left-hand throttle is the one paired with, or the one trying to pair with that loco's decoder. Okay? You're meant to have a completely separate programming track. I don't know if this guy's done this. He can't seem to turn it on properly. So has he done this properly? You're meant to have a completely separate, isolated, connected differently track for programming. And then your main track goes off the other connectors and can use both throttles. So if you're programming and pairing the unit up, only the left throttle is available. It should be wired up such. And then when you're done, you come out of programming mode and you've got multiple potential locos that you can pick between and put them on left or right or whatever. So my suspicion is he's put it into pairing mode to pair yet another loco, because he clearly paired one because he said it was all working. And now he can't get it back out of programming mode because he can't work out he needs to press to turn it back off. Oh, I've programmed it, it's done. It's like a light switch, mate. You've switched the light switch on, you do work in the light, and then when you go out, it doesn't turn off on its own. You have to turn the light switch back off. He doesn't get that, and I've tried to explain it, and I've tried to be polite, and I've tried to go through eBay and say, this guy's not reading the manual. This isn't my problem. He's raising disputes, and it's not my problem. So I've closed my eBay account. A 15-year standing, and I'm never using eBay again. That's how seriously I am taking it. And the guy, while I'm writing this, while I'm recording this, He's messaged me again to say the same thing. Right? I cannot cope with crazy, right? And I definitely can't cope with retard. Yeah? This is not my issue. This is his issue. He needs to read the manual. He needs to understand the complex piece of electronics he's just bought. And that piece of electronics is in tip-top pin precision.